Hey, Mama, how is this pregnancy going? I like to encourage positivity during pregnancy because pregnancy was really hard for me and it it tried all the areas of my life, and I felt like I fell back in all the areas because it was so hard and it was so difficult. But through 4 pregnancies, I have found, or I chose to find, how about that, mindset tools that helped me actually get through it a lot better. And God has put it on my heart and in my mind that I need to not keep those to myself. I need to share them. And so I have kind of transitioned my podcast into pregnancy focused, especially on my Tuesday episodes. On my Friday episodes, I talk a little bit more about motherhood and what I am learning and have learned in motherhood. But Tuesday, I encourage positivity in pregnancy. And I hope that these tips help you. I hope that as you strive to implement them, they help you during this pregnancy. And pregnancy doesn't seem so hard and bleak and annoying, frustrating, almost to the point where you don't want to have babies. I got to that point. I wanted a bigger family, and I felt that I probably wasn't going to do it because pregnancy was so hard. But I kept trying, and that's what I want to help you do. I want to help you keep trying during this pregnancy. Today we are going to talk about a vital topic, or whatever you want to call it, headline for pregnancy mindset. This is going to be hard to do, and you're not going to enjoy it, but it will make all the other things I teach on this podcast fall a lot easier into place if you do this first. So join in and let's get started. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. For a lot of us women, pregnancy is hard. Maybe it's even harder than you thought it was going to be, and it has you a little bit discouraged. You always wanted to grow up and be a mom and raise God's children, and then you get knocked off your feet with a pregnancy, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. This is kind of tough. And it can come with a lot of aches and pains, quite literally. But there's also a lot of mental anguish and pains that we can experience as we are going through a pregnancy. In this podcast, as it's titled Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood, I encourage you to shift your mindset so that you can find a positive pregnancy. But the tip, or the mindset tip or exercise, whatever you want to call it, that I'm going to teach you about today will help you to be able to find the positivity easier. And it's called Feel It to Heal It. And this is not my phrase. I heard it on a different podcast. I don't remember her podcast name, but it was Jen Ride. And I found this to be a true principle in pregnancy, that sometimes you need to feel the pain in order to heal it. Now, what do I mean by feel the pain? Let's go through a few examples. If you are annoyed at your husband because he is not helping out in the ways that you think, he is not supporting you, you don't feel like he's being compassionate and he's not being the kind and caring person that you think he should be, and you're feeling annoyed, I want you to take some time to feel it. Feel that annoyance. It's not fun to feel these negative emotions. I know that. And usually you don't voluntarily just want to feel negativity. You don't voluntarily want to feel pain or annoyed or any of the other examples that I'm going to go through. But it actually helps you to get rid of it if you feel it. If you don't feel this pain or the annoyance or whatever emotion it is, it's going to stay inside you and you will get bottled up. And during pregnancy, you're going to get bottled up a lot faster, and the fuse might be short. And that bottled up may boil over a lot faster because of the emotions and the things that way that pregnancy can bring. So that's why I encourage you to feel it, to heal it. So feel that annoyance. If you are frustrated at your kids because they're not listening, they're fighting, they're arguing, they're not doing what you want them to, and you don't have the energy to get up and help force them to do it, you're doing this, feel that frustration. Take a minute and just feel it. I feel so frustrated. Ugh. Where does that pain sit? Where does that frustration go in your body? Notice it. Feel it. Allow yourself to feel it, to heal it. Because as you do that, it will get easier to bring the positive thoughts and the positive emotions into your mind and into your heart, because you're not bottled up with negative emotions. If you are bottled up with negative emotions and you do not take time to heal it, to feel it, the positive mindset shifts and exercises that I give you on this podcast aren't going to get very far. So this is prerequisite. One of the very first things that you need to do when you are wanting to have a better pregnancy mindset, a more positive pregnancy mindset. Okay, I had one more example that I wanted to go through, and that is the feeling of overwhelm. During pregnancy, it can be so easy to feel overwhelmed because everything you did before, you can't do now. I even struggled to brush my teeth, you guys. It was hard, and I am not usually that type of person. I kind of like to just go in there and get it done, but when I was so sick and so nauseous, couldn't hardly get off the bed or the toilet, I struggled and I felt overwhelmed. My housework built up. The paperwork that I did for my husband added up. The clothes that needed to gone through for my children added up. The dishes piled up. You name it, it was piling up. And all of those piles were growing in my mind and in my body. It was taking up all of my brain space, just feeling overwhelmed. But one bad habit that I had is I would just push it down and I'd be like, it's okay, I'll deal with it later, or I don't have time to think about that right now because I'm too sick, and so on and so forth. And it wasn't until my 4th pregnancy that I really learned I just needed to feel some of the overwhelm. I needed to allow myself to just take some time and feel the negative emotion and let it go. Let it go. Send it out. Feel it. Say thank you for joining me today, but now I'm releasing you because I don't want negative emotions. I don't want these negative feelings. I want to find beauty and positivity in pregnancy. So once you release it, once you heal or feel it to heal it, that's when you give yourself grace. And that's going to be what I talk about next week. I am going to go into how do you give yourself grace when you've got 17 mountain piles in your mind of things that need to be done but aren't getting done, and it's feeling pretty heavy. How do you give yourself grace when you've got all these mountains? So stay tuned next Tuesday. That will be what I am talking about. These two topics are pivotal for everything else that I've talked about and that I will talk about in this podcast to work. Is to first feel it to heal it. And second, give yourself grace. After that, we can grow and we can expand and we can find the beauty through gratitude, through changing the negative to the positive, through pregnancy-specific affirmations and other little mindset tips and tricks that can actually help you to enjoy pregnancy and to find beauty in it instead of loathing it. Mama, I am cheering for you, and I know that you can do this. Even if it's hard, even if you're struggling and feel like you're drowning, you can do this. You are amazing, and your body is doing amazing things. Keep up the good work. If you want help staying positive in pregnancy and expounding more on what I teach here, I have a mini course called the Positive Pregnancy Program, and it encourages positivity during pregnancy. The nice thing about it is it's not a lot of work. It's more intentionality than work. You don't even have to get out of your bed or off the couch to do it. They are simple 2 to 6 minute videos that you just listen to or watch. I don't have the audio recordings available yet, but you can still listen to the video. Anyways, I am planning to have audios, but they're not finished yet. And those videos can run you through the exercises that will help feed this positivity. And you will have the fertile ground to feed it as you feel it to heal it. Keep up the good work, Mama. God needs you in this endeavor. Your children need you. Your husband needs you. And you need you. Implement this into your life and into your pregnancy and see if you feel less bottled up. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.